Welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us here on MorningAtNTV. Time now to take note of the CHAN 2025. Is it? If not the ESC trophy, then who? I have some experts here who are going to help me rectify some of the inconsistencies and contradictions that I might find myself into. But we want to look at exactly how things have been, especially now that East Africa took the Pamoja slogan a little bit too literally, and we disembarked from that particular train at the same time. But I'm told it's all good, especially when it comes to the strategic level engagements, to be able to have advanced to the group stages, and that is good for the sport. I'm joined on set by a legend of the game, Paul Mukatabala. He's FUFA's national teams officer and one of the most exciting midfielders we've had, I think, in the country. You're most welcome to MorningAtNTV.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
We also have with us the honcho at CK Sports, Clive Kyazze.
Yes, good morning.
Many thanks for joining us. And the man who ensures that the newsroom is up to date. Where is Bruno Fernandes' ball?
It hit my window last evening. Yes.
Hey, okay. Felix Kwame Manyindo, thank you for making time. First, before we go into how the CHAN has gone and what it all means for the AFCON, especially for the local organizing committee, allow me extend my condolences to our legend for the loss of Musanvu Gwanga.
Yes,
it's a story that had touched hearts. It's one that offers points of reflection for each one of us. I think I'll give you the opportunity to say a word or two.
Yeah, to all the football family, it's a sad moment. Badia Semakula, one of the most exciting wingers Ugandan football has ever. One of the best crossers of the ball. He would cross it and he bends his neck like this and watches the ball go to the strikers.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And always pinpoint crosses. And on a personal level, a good man. Always happy, always lively, always jolly. So it's sad that he's gone.
Wow, he's all rest in eternal peace. Let's begin with Mr. Clive. I've talked to this guy. Let me talk to you first. Give us the overview, especially when it comes to the CHAN, how we performed. Are you disappointed?
As a Ugandan, of course, if the national team is doing well, you would want the fairy tale to continue.
Yeah.
When we got out of the group stages, or even before the tournament started, when they drew us out, few of us thought that the Uganda Cranes would be able to get out of the group stages when you have countries like Algeria and South Africa in the group. And it's something that we've said earlier, that even when we lost the opening game of the season, we were like, this is what we probably expected. But then the team gets to turn that around. They win 2 games, and they have 1 against South Africa, where they all needed was a draw for them to advance to the quarterfinals. And with 7 minutes to go, it looked like it is close to impossible, but still the guys turn it around.
The football showed us why it's football.
Exactly. They get the result that they needed to top the group that had South Africa and Algeria. In the process, knocking Algeria out of the group for them to qualify for the quarterfinals. We've watched so many Uganda Cranes games, and maybe Paul here can help us. I don't remember a comeback as one we experienced on that day against South Africa. We didn't win the game, it ended 3-3, but for the Cranes to do what they did with 7 minutes to go, to turn results around atop the group and qualify for the quarterfinals. Obviously, when you get into the quarterfinals, you want the fairy tale to continue.
Right. Yeah.
We are playing against the defending champions. Probably statistically, we are better because the last 2 times we had played against them, we had won. One of those being the CHAN that they won in Algeria. But unfortunately, the Cranes weren't able to get this one over the line, and they get knocked out of the competition. The positive out of this entire bit is the fact that finally we broke the jinx of failing to qualify out of the group stages. We had tried on 6 attempts in the past, and we weren't even getting close. This time we were able to get out of the group stages. At least that mark is off their back, and we feel that moving forward, probably they can build on that to have better campaigns in the upcoming chance.
No doubt. Paul, continental football is something that you experienced during your time, and I'm sure the emotions when the players were going through something that we hadn't seen, like Clive says, in our own football history, you must have been like, wow, that is something that you would have loved to be part of, no doubt. But how do you make of this, especially in light with the fact that we are readying ourselves for the AFCON, a much bigger tournament, one that the stakes will be higher?
Getting out of the group stages and finally going to the quarterfinals is a very big positive for Ugandan football.
That's right.
Given the fact that we'll be hosting the AFCON 2027, the good mood and the good feeling continues. We must appreciate our fans that they stood up for the team. Even in the most difficult of circumstances, they were able to lift us. Clive was saying we have not seen a comeback like that one, really in a very long, long time. The one I can remember is 1989 Sekafa against Malawi in Nairobi. We were 3-0 down, and we were able to make it to 3-3 and win the trophy on penalties.
Wow.
That is how long it is for us Ugandans to see such a comeback.
Okay.
But big ups to our boys under difficult circumstances and plenty of doubt from everybody. They were able to put up performances that made Ugandans proud.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm sure the football fans, especially as the AFCON comes up, will be gearing up for attendance a little bit more than has been the case. I'll be returning to you, especially on the part of the local organizing committee. But Kwame, aspects about tactical discipline, standout performers, I know this is what stuff you look out for as journalists. What's your take?
Well, the team actually shocked me. They were more progressive in play. Because especially after the Algeria game, where they looked to have lost because more of fear factor than Algeria actually being better. But against Guinea, against Niger, they actually imposed themselves. And against South Africa, Clive has talked about the fans, and Paul has talked about the fans lifting the team. Okay. But at 3-1, the fans were down, and now it was the team that actually lifted the fans. And I've not seen Uganda play that determinant like they did actually in this Chan tournament. Like they were determined to have a go at anyone. They weren't scared of passing the ball. The only problem maybe I could have noticed is decision making in the final third, because we saw that a lot against Senegal.
On the part of the players.
Yes, Regan Impande. Somehow he has the IQ to create space for himself, because so many times you saw him on his own and you're like, why don't they pass him the ball? But every time they passed him the ball, some of the final decision was actually lacking. But then again, overall, like Molivier Kwasu said after the game against Senegal, that if they were more courageous up front, maybe they score. Because before the Senegal goal, I think we had created like 4 chances that were actually goal-scoring chances, not just an attempt, but clear scoring chances.
Okay. Clive, talk to us about tactical squad depth, rotation aspects that could have either, if done better or well enough, perhaps the story could be different right now.
Well, of course, the national team, not only in Uganda but world over, will have over 1 million coaches out there. In Uganda, if we are 45 or something million people, we are all coaches of the national team. Everyone would want someone to play.
That's right.
One man holds that job. In this case, it was Mode Abiekwa. So after the loss against Algeria, he made a couple of changes. It should have been close to 5 changes. Herbert Achaya tried back, Hilary Mukondale in defense. Abdul Karim Watambala also got to start. Regan Impande for Patrick Jonah Kakande, I forget the fifth, but he made changes, and you could see that there was a lot of difference in the next 2 games we played, or even the next 3 games we played. Even when we went into the final game in the group stages with Joe Serunjoji suspended, everyone was wondering who now comes in to fill the void for Joe Serunjoji. Abdulkarim Mukatabala returns to the team, and you thought he gave a good account of himself. For me, outside the captain, Roger Storach, who was outstanding throughout the competition, you feel that the midfield trio of Enoch Sebagala, Abdulkarim Watambala, and Joe Serunjoji gave a good account of themselves. You saw that when they played football, the team actually fed off them, and the team moved forward. They played with confidence, they played with composure, and that also helped the teammates around them to settle. And you talk about the AFCON, but of course before 2027 you have the 2025 AFCON in December, you have the World Cup qualifiers next month. You thought these are some of the players who are probably giving the head coach Paul Put ideas that we can actually do the job, and if you give us the confidence, or if we thought about us, we can be able to go out there and try something. We scored goals, but we didn't have that natural number 9 or a reliable source to go out there and get the goals. Our goals were coming from different angles. Even when the chances were created, you could see that if it is not Jude Semugabi, it is Alan Okello, Regan Impande also tried to find the back of the net. When players like Ivan Aingisewe came off the bench, when they had moments, you could see that they are eager to go out and impress. So you feel that everyone was using the opportunity, everyone was using the chance to market themselves, not only to the global market out there, but to the national team coach, that when summons for the senior national team come around, we feel we have a role to play and you should be considering us.
Okay. Paul, Mole Biekwaso right now is a man that may be having a piece of paper, and he has a list of issues that he wants FUFA and the powers that be to help in bolstering the team's abilities. First, to be able to supply talent to the national team ahead of AFCON, but also entrench a new way of doing things, one that allows us to be fluid and able to play at the international level with the kind of attitude, goal that many of these players that we see, many of them including Senegal, I saw when they were coming in, the aura and stuff like that. It comes about because they are playing professional football, but within the local setting. That level of organization maybe could be one thing that helps other teams ahead of us. What are you doing as the technical guys right now? What's cooking?
No doubt the professionalism in our league must improve, because that's where the shortcomings that Clive has been describing and Felix come from. When these players spend most of the time with their clubs, if the things are not professional enough, the environment is not good enough for competitive football, we will always have these shortcomings, including the coaching, because there are big doubts about these players, how are they coached, where they come from before they arrive at the national team level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you can see Senegal was there for the taking, in all honesty. With a better structure and better coaching from lower levels, would have been able to have the confidence to beat Senegal.
That is also mindset issue for the sake of the local players.
Felix has talked about Regan. He's somebody who was, where I was seated, I was like, why is he getting the ball and standing? the Senegal right back is there for the taking. Skin him, get into the box, and cause chaos in the Senegalese penalty area. But he wasn't doing it. He was standing and playing backwards.
I love the way he says it. He's there for the taking. Skin him. Reminds you of that famous quote, Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, talking about his team and advising a striker on how to go at the goalkeeper. And then the striker was like, "You are Ronaldo." You can do anything. Interesting there. So in terms of the logistics organization ahead of AFCON, are we ready?
Almost, but not really ready.
Not really.
Maybe we need to differentiate which AFCON.
Please.
Yeah, there's one we're going for in December.
December,
there's one we're
Morocco.
hosting in 2020.
Hey, forgive my lack of knowledge there, but please clarify. Are we ready for both? Anyway.
For this 2025, since we are not the hosts, you can say we'll be ready with the right logistics to go into Morocco and prepare well and possibly put up a performance. For the 2027, still some issues with the organization on part of LOC and CAF. I think CAF, LOC and FUFA should sync better than they have been doing this CHAN. So many issues could have been easily ironed out if the three were reading alongside the same page.
Okay, I'm sure these two have a lot of advice when it comes to how that can be done. One thing I love about sports journalists and pundits is that your depth of understanding of what should happen actually is one that you should not be taken for granted. So
the
take us through.
important thing is that what they say out should be taken
in a positive way. There's a tendency for the powers to assume you're against them.
Exactly, because one of the reasons why we requested to host the CHAN tournament was to help us prepare for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
And you want to believe, like Paula said, the local organizing committee, CAF, together with the government, they should be working together.
That's right.
They should be in sync to make sure that 2027 is a success. Of course, it is still going to be a tournament of 3 countries. Right now, we're in the process of constructing new stadiums. Felix here does frequent Hoima to visit. He's now an official to visit the Hoima Stadium. Tanzania, on top of what they have, we understand they're constructing a stadium, another stadium in Arusha. Kenya, on top of Kasarani and Nyayo, they are constructing the Talanta Stadium. All 3 of them are going to be in Nairobi, on top of the training grounds, but also other logistics like hotel and stuff like that. So I feel that this tournament has painted a clear picture of what needs to be done, because the AFCON is the biggest football tournament or sporting event on the African continent, and with it, CAF never wants to take chances. So we just need to do the right things. We just need to prepare adequately, and we just need to embrace it. For me, the biggest positive I take out of the CHAN, much as it's still going on, especially with the local organizing committee in Uganda, is their choice of security personnel. Yes, we all know Uganda police and all these others and stuff like that, but I thought the SFC did a very commendable job, both with Nambole, but also in the different places they were deployed. Personally, I had issues with how traffic was handled. And you think that is an area the local organizing committee together with the Uganda police need to address moving forward or going into the Africa Cup of Nations. But you also feel, because it is Africa Cup of Nations, the fans are going to embrace it more than they did with the CHAN. Exactly, the fans will be more international. Entebbe Airport recently was celebrating their biggest milestone ever in the month of July. They handled over 230,000 passengers. You feel come 2027, those numbers are going to triple or even be bigger. So they must be ready for that. And you feel all that can't be a success if the LOC, CAF, and government are not in sync working together.
Kwame, you've been to Hoima. Yes. More frequently than any other person, maybe. That piece of infrastructure is a marvel to the eye, no doubt. I'm glad for once there is almost the impression, or rather the infrastructure itself is as the impression was given to us.
Yes.
There is something that is not very Ugandan about this stadium.
Yeah, the company that actually did that also did the Kigali Arena, and they really determined to do something the way they actually show it to you, and the speed with which they've actually gone, because they are like 6 months, they are ahead of schedule, they are ahead of AFCON, because that's one of the stadiums that's going to host AFCON. And going back to what China has shown us is if Nambole and just Kampala area manage to handle the pressure of 5 teams and fans having 2 games per day, I think we are going to have it better when Hoima is done and Lira is done, because of AFCON is 8 groups. So we are going
the same farm that is doing Lira?
No. Lira is a different one. But AFCON is 8 groups, so you think minimum we might have 2 groups here in Uganda. So with that coming up, you think the pressure reduces a bit around here and it's spread out.
Okay, no doubt.
For successful tournaments, one of the things that people overlook is the training pitches.
Training pitches, yeah.
See, for Chan, no team was able to hold camp either in Tanzania, Uganda, or Kenya. Reason?
Wow.
No training pitches.
Training pitches.
Yes.
That's quite
Without
detrimental.
them,
But we still have chance to ensure that these training pitches are in place.
That is what Chan gives you, a chance to iron out those creases, because there are so many, but not enough to say that the tournament hosting was bad.
No. Okay, overall, it's a success.
Going into the AFCON, according to the minister, Uganda, we are going to have a total of 12 training grounds, probably to the level of the Nambole Annex Beach, Chambogo, because you understand Express, probably the Wankuruku Stadium will be already then. The one in Kisu, Kadiba will also be improved to that level. In Hoima, they are talking about improving the bomber grounds. Then also there's a university where they are going to have a training ground. Hoima State Stadium also has its own annex pitch. So you feel that when the AFCON comes around, most of these facilities will be ready. On top of Nambole being renovated or upgraded to the level or the standards that CAF wanted to be.
There's a lot of work that has already gone on at Nambole. I'm sure if there is more needed,
There's actually
I'll have to sit with those guys.
Because that was actually phase 1.
Sure.
Yes.
There is actually more because, for example, the dressing rooms, they are located at the wrong end of the stadium. Yes.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. So they must be.
Interesting there. All right, gentlemen, I'm afraid we are entering the final bend. Now, away from the football, I saw there was a lot of fun for some of the people that went to watch the game, including their choice of emblazoning. I don't know whether by asking FUFA to come up with a policy, I'll be, going into people's rights violation. But I think what I saw was a disappointment, but an opportunity lies within there for Ugandans to learn what to put on the back of their shirts. We need more inspiration.
Actually, I saw...
Kwame, you had a shirt too?
No, I feared entering with mine that has Manyindo. Probably someone would have thought, what are you trying to... Yes, it's actually... But I saw a few smart ones. Of course, the comical ones made more rounds.
That's right.
And I think I like Uganda's sense of humor, because friends in Ghana who gave me that name, and they were like, you guys are too much. Because for them, they are so much of a by-the-book people. They were like, I wouldn't even wear that going to sleep and all that stuff. But then there were a few who were actually smart. They had business emblems at the back. You had someone putting, they are selling phones, they are doing that. But of course, in a situation like this, those don't stand out a lot.
They don't stand out.
Yes, you want to see those ones of Nakate Wange Kusanga. Those are the ones that made a lot of rounds.
Interesting there. All right, gentlemen, many thanks. We are nearing the top of the hour. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and many thanks for the legend making it to Morning at NTV. You have been here before? On Morning at NTV? No, it's your first time. Me,
program.
I always say it's always an honor. These gentlemen played football in an era that didn't celebrate them enough. It's upon us to celebrate them. And
when you say this gentleman, people watching might think all three of us. Maybe you say this gentleman
and his colleagues. Clive Kyazze, thank you very much. Kwame, thanks so much. And of course, Paul Mukatabala for joining us and giving us that perspective on Chan and what Uganda should be looking forward to as we prepare ourselves for yet again another bigger tournament. It's been a pleasure, but stay with us. When we return with the Kickstarter, the stage is set. Today, the delegates will be convening at Kololo to elect special interest groups that will in turn elect the SEC of the National Resistance Movement. That is on Thursday. We are going to bring you every bit of it, and the drama is of course there. Stay with us. I'll be back with that.